Welcome back to the garden, everyone. I've never actually seen a video for this for gardening. Farmers do this all the time, but just in case anyone had any questions, today we're going to go over a specific method of pruning cucumbers for maximum yield I learned from one of the farms I worked at when I first moved into Western North Carolina. Coming up. So this is one of the market more of the slicing cukes that my roommate put in. She's way more of a guerrilla gardener than I am, so clearly a lot of stuff going on here, but random trellis, so let it climb. This is post or prior to pruning, so you can see all the little flowers here at the 45-degree angles. So I will do, and credit goes out to Tom Elmore at Thatchmore Farm in Western North Carolina. Fantastic early market garden farm run by his daughter and him now. He will do, and he taught this when I was interning there, 7 nodes. And that's just to give the plant plenty of leafy growth before it starts pumping energy into fruit production. So literally, I mean, I've waited way too long on this since it's already wasted some energy on fruit production, but just prune off all of the 45-degree nodes here. Flowers, and you'll have probably a couple at each node, but all of those just to encourage it to keep growing up. Make sure you do not chop off the growth center. That's where the directional energy points to. If you chop off the growth center like a tomato, the growth tip, it'll pick the next most robust node and start growing in that direction, so you'll get crawling everywhere. Now, if you don't care, this doesn't matter. You can just let it go if you want a bushy cucumber, but if you do want it to go a certain direction so you can have easily accessible fruit with leaves, and if you notice any leaves that are getting discolored, that's probably a wilt or a deficiency. Your bottom leaves will show deficiency first, but it's most likely a wilt. Fits right next to the ground, so get rid of those and just keep an eye on leaves closer to the ground. So we just pruned all those. Same idea with tomatoes. So just prune off anything sucking energy in directions that aren't up until you want it to start fruiting. So that's a fresh one, and we'll go check on the ones I've already done. There's a significant difference in growth, and they were transplanted at the same time. So this is what they look like post pruning and vine clipping. So you just put this at a 45-degree angle, somewhere sturdy. So make sure that it is not a small branch that you attach it to, because that's going to be holding up the entire plant when you string it up. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prune nodes. So I'll stop pruning these 3. These are all market mores, so slicers. And then I will just wrap that around like that whenever there is significant growth, just to keep it straight up the spiral. But these will be like this until maturity, and then they'll probably start producing fruit once they're about here. So that's the goal, is just to give plenty of surface area for photosynthesizing before they start cranking out fruit, just because you want them to pump out for as long as possible. And I might even prune these bottom leaves. If you notice any signs of disease, spotting next to the soil, don't hesitate to prune those. Just increase the plant's longevity. That's it for this one. We'll do another one on tomatoes whenever I do more tomato maintenance. The bulk of it's been done, but you can do that for pickling cukes if you want as well. I do have some pickling back here. Some people like stringing them along the ground because they don't need to be trellised. They are a little more resistant to fusarium wilt and a couple other things, but I just like having everything off the ground, out of harm's way for me stepping on, especially if you have infrastructure for vertical space. I always like to go up.